Up, 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 up. Hello, hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Thanks everybody who came a little bit early. Hopefully I'm starting on time. I think I am. Pretty close, maybe 45 seconds late. Sorry, I was fumbling with a few things here. We've got the Nasdaq up. Remind me if I don't do it to look at the S&P, the ES as well. I saw a couple things on that chart that I wanted to point out to everyone. I hope my mic is working. I hope everything's working. I'm seeing the little bar going there on the mic audio thing, so it seems like it is. What do we got going on here? All right, I did a video yesterday, and I've got it pinned there in the chat of overall market conditions, what I think is going on with the market right now. We had Powell give a speech yesterday at the IMF. He hinted that, he didn't hint, he said that the Fed was going to have to start acting more aggressively to curb inflation. Inflation's way out of control. And I completely agree with that. I went to the grocery store this week. My God, I went in there for just like a few things and I walked out spending over $100 on really, I don't even know what, nothing. I mean, I didn't really buy that much stuff. Inflation is for real and it's starting to really impact people. And it ain't good. It ain't good. If you want to know my bias, you can check out that video, but it's bearish. It's bearish in short. And I explained in that video why, giving the overall technical analysis, just looking at weekly and daily charts of where I think prices are headed. But we are intraday trading, so I'm not going to spend too much time going over that stuff that I did in that video. I want to look at what we got going on today. So we are going to start with the daily chart. We'll blow this thing up. If you're new to the channel, if you found that video and you're watching this, welcome. Thank you for coming to the live stream. Really appreciate it. There's lots of these going on these days, so I appreciate you checking out this one. Here's a daily chart. We got a few things up on the daily. We got 200 SMA, which is this blue dotted line, and these are 20-period Bollinger Bands. 20-period Bollinger Bands. The middle line right here is a 20 SMA, and then we are 2 standard deviations away from that for the lower band and the upper band. This helps me gauge volatility, also gives me price targets where I think price may be going, entry and exit points. And I can see when the bands open up like this, it's volatility is increasing and it opens up. I almost see it like it's a door that opens up to the downside here. Powell came out again with his comments about the Fed acting more aggressively and maybe even raising interest rates even higher than previously anticipated to curb inflation. So that yesterday sent the markets boom, crashing down in the afternoon after he made those comments. I really was tempted to take a short on it. I sat on my hands through the whole thing, only because, you know, he comes out and then says, well, I think the economy's strong and we're only gonna have to take these measures in emergency situations. And what happens, the Nasdaq will shoot up 200 points and you're completely screwed. And then it'll roll back over and shoot down 400 points. And in those situations where the market's reacting to, you know, someone giving a speech or news or things like that, it's really best just to stay out of it and let the market find a rhythm and then try to get into that rhythm with it. So we had this downtrend line right here. We're just looking at what's been going on recently. I keep looking at this chart pattern over here, but we also have a larger move to the downside and an even larger I thought I was take that off. An even larger move to the upside, which we are breaking out of. You see the 200 SMA here. This goes back to March of, I hope this chart goes back to March of 2020. Yeah, here's COVID over here, COVID crash. We've held above the 200 SMA since COVID, the COVID crash recovery. We are now breaking below it. We can see up here the 200 SMA has acted as resistance. We got a couple touches on it here. Coming down off of it. I think the downside has opened up, particularly yesterday. If you guys remember, we drew out this trend line all week, not trend line, this resistance level all week, 14,300. I talked about this in the video yesterday just briefly. We've attempted to break through it several times. It just cannot get through 14,300. It has now failed. It stopped trying. Particularly on Powell's comments, and we are now dropping down. The downside has opened up, in my opinion. We've broken weekly support, which is this red line right here at 13,700-ish, 730. We've broken down weekly support. The downside's now been open, in my opinion. This red line right here is weekly lows. What was support may now be acting as resistance. We can see that price and pre-market. Well, we can look at an hourly chart. What'll make it more sense. Has tried to come up, and now we're failing. We're coming back down. Where does it want to go to? I think near term 13,000. 13,000 for me. We'll get there today. I don't know. I say that, a lot. Can it move 700 points today? I don't know. That's even a lot for the Nasdaq. I mean, if I look at the ATR, average true range, just calculating in my head, we're looking at, 400 points. Like this is a 400-point move. Here's this candle. That's a pretty large candle. Could we have a massive selling day down to 13,000? The Nasdaq does move quickly to where it wants to go. That's the reason I like trading the Nasdaq. It gets to where it wants to go fast. It doesn't mess around. Unlike the S&P. I did take an ES trade yesterday for anyone who was watching that. And God, it's hard to go back to the ES. I originally started trading futures, trading the ES. And man, it is hard to go back trading the ES after trading the Nasdaq. Nasdaq likes to move, and S&P is like Mr. Turtle. Just think about what we're gonna do. Maybe we'll move that way. Maybe we won't. Anyways, I'll get done picking on the S&P or the ES. Here's a 4-hour chart. So I typically like to work my higher time frames down. We can look at a weekly real quick, but I looked at this in that video yesterday. Look, I mean, 2 weeks of selling. We're now coming into a massive bearish candle on the third week on a Friday. Does not look good for anyone long on this thing, in my opinion. Now, who knows what the market's going to do? I mean, everybody's wrong, right? Like, I'm not saying that this is definite and have to follow this. I mean, Bill Ackman, however you say his last name, lost $430 million on his Netflix position. I mean, everybody's wrong. But this is just what I'm seeing today. So here's a 4-hour chart. We looked at the daily. Now we're going to move down to the 4-hour. We've got the weekly support here still drawn out. This is that big level that we had identified. I don't know, all week. Better traders would have been shorting it up here. I typically was shorting it as we broke away from it. But whatever, that's done. That move's done. I can't dwell on it. I can learn from it for sure, but I can't dwell on it. We had this trend line right here, and yesterday we broke through it. I mean, that's just a beautiful trade right there, where we've got this pattern. This thing, whenever you see a pattern like this, where we've got one price level that's holding, and then we've got a hypotenuse or a angle trend line. This angle trend line tends to break most of the time. This is where you're anticipating the break to come in and price to drop then down into support level. This trade right here would have been amazing to take, and I didn't take it because I wasn't trading the news. But looking at it now, you shorted at 13,946. You short it at the break of the trend line here, plus the support level. You short that, take it down to the bottom of the band there. Doesn't look like a big move because this is a 4-hour chart, but you short it at 950 and you get out at 830. It's 120 points ish. If you were trading one contract size, just put that in perspective. 120 points times $2,400 on one contract in one day. I mean, just one afternoon. That's what happens. That's what the Nasdaq can provide. Anyways. We've broken through weekly support. What was support is now acting as resistance, basic technical analysis. We're pinning through that support / resistance level now, and it looks like we're going to head for the southern border down there. Again, that's my opinion. Price may come back up and retest this level. I don't know. Maybe, but just looking at the technical analysis of it, on these higher time frames, it's looking bearish. We can also now drop down to the hourly chart, and we can see this thing. I've got a trend line that I drew out pre-market here, just a simple support level. It's coming down to it a little bit. You can see this bearish candle. Since there was, sorry, I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself because I really want to get to the ES as well. We can see here all this selling coming through, right? All that selling coming through. Now we've got weaker buying in this attempt to come up. It just looks so bearish, aggressive selling, weaker buying. These are people taking profits. Sorry, and you would expect this trend line. Well, what I can say is we had this nice bullish candle here where we closed above the 20 SMA, closed near the top, very bullish candle. It looked like price wanted to come back up here and test the upper band on the 1 hour. It got through this resistance level, but look, we've got this LVN. This is a weekly volume profile, so it's been generating since Sunday night. A lot of data going on this thing. On Fridays, it becomes really significant. This low volume node right here, low volume nodes are areas where there hasn't been a lot of interest in price. They typically then act as support and resistance levels. You can see how price pinned right off of that. Bearish candle now on the 1 hour, and we're getting through VWAP. This green red line is VWAP, volume weighted average price, a tool that nearly every trader uses. It's a moving average on steroids. So anyways, move down through that. We've got this support level here on the hour. I suspect that if that breaks, price is going to want to drop at least down into here. I suspect this low though is going to break and we're going to start moving lower. The question is, how can you get in? Where can you get your entry? When I saw this morning, my short entry was going to be the top of the band here. However, price didn't want to come up that far, and we've got this nice pin. This could actually be a pretty good entry point right here. So we have this failed attempt up. We've hit a resistance level. Up here, we also have the band pinching in, and you could short the break. You could short the break of VWAP. Take half a position here as we short VWAP, and then add to it as we break the support level. That's just my opinion on that. Again, price could move up. Price could do whatever it wants to do. That's just my opinion, doing some basic technical analysis. What we've got to do is look at these higher time frames and look at that. Look at where we think price may be going. Then we're going to move down to lower time frames and try to trade price action away from those levels, or with these ideas in mind. So what we've got going on, we can just look at a 5-minute real quick. We had this move up here, broke through that down to VWAP. Now, it's looking a little choppy, though we've got this counter trend line. It's breaking through that a little bit. This looks bullish over here on a 500 volume chart. 500 volume, guys. This is a 500 volume chart. These are volume candles. If you don't know what that is, you can just Google it. They're very similar to tick charts. They're not time-based charts. They're data-based candles, or time-based candles, You can look over here on my charts, and you can see when these candles are going to close. By looking at the time remaining, but these over here come in on 500 volume, so they're different, and they're more reliable, in my opinion, when you're trading. When you're trading, particularly on an order flow strategy, kind of like what we do here. This is an overnight volume profile. I just switched over here real quick to show people a tick chart. This is also a tick chart. Tick, tick, tick. I look at that once in a while, but it's not really what I get. So when the market opens, I'm going to have volume profiles pop up on this chart, and this chart. It's all going to be the same volume profile. It just gives me a little different perspective to view those low and high volume nodes on the different time frames. Sometimes I can clearly see like a low volume node on a 5-minute, but it's too it's not clear on like a 500 volume, so it's just nice to have them up. I could probably take them off, but they don't really bother me, so I just leave them up. The other thing I'm looking at coming in the morning is where we are around VWAP. I'm right at VWAP right now. Market's gonna open in 5 minutes. Flat on the day, but look at Delta, cumulative Delta down here, time and sales data. This is time and sales data. These are buyers who are willing to step up and buy on the ask, or sellers who are willing to step down and sell on the buyer's prices. So it shows me aggressive buying and selling. We are negative on the day. We're hitting lows. We're moving lower. This is Delta divergence, where we've got, you can see over here where Delta was when price was here, and now we've got Delta moving lower even though price hasn't. That's a bearish sign that That's a bearish sign, delta divergence like that. You can typically trade delta divergence by just doing support and resistance areas. What you would like to see is if you were bullish on this as price came down to this trend line here, perhaps on the 1 hour, you would like to see delta divergence the other way. You like to see delta beginning to make new highs, beginning to make new structure higher as price approached this level, which would suggest that buyers were beginning to step in at that support area and that this was a valid area and that price may want to then move up. But since as price is moving down, even though it's moving down here, delta is making lower lows as price is making a lower high. So, oops, sorry. That looks bearish to me. Okay, I've got how much time? 3 minutes to look at the S&P real quick. We can look up at the ES. I know some guys trade the ES. This is the ES over here. Very similar daily structure, so I won't go over that too much. We can see here. Well, the one thing I will say is that we had this downtrend line. The ES actually looked pretty bullish yesterday. I took a long on the ES and got stopped out. We broke through the 20 SMA here, pinned through it on Powell's comments, and just sold off the rest of the day. Looks very bearish, not as bearish as the Nasdaq. But I wanted to look at this volume profile. This is also a weekly volume profile on the 1 hour. We can see a really clear low volume node right up here, right at the top of the band here. I think that if price did break this resistance level and didn't, this would be a massive area to short it right up here as we came into this ledge on the weekly volume profile and right up here at the top of the band. This would be an excellent place to take a short on it. Your stop would, your stop could be like right up here. If we moved into this volume node, and then your take profit could be, all the way down here. That's the type of trader you are. But yeah, I'm going to be looking at this off on another screen. If we do get an impulse up, I'll be looking to see because the ES and the Nasdaq seem to be correlating a little bit intraday these days. So I'll be looking to see what the ES, if it does make a move up, what it's doing up here, and that might signal that the Nasdaq might be at a good place to short it. So I just wanted to show that real quick. So I thought that was a good opportunity for any ES traders out there, any S&P 500 traders. So we're going to let price move around. We can see that here over here on the 1 hour, we're pinning through the 20 SMA. Again, the top of this band up here for me looks like a really nice place to short. And we've got this low volume node. I'm going to draw a blue box right here. This is kind of my short zone. I'm going to be watching it just to see what price wants to do if we begin to move up this way. And we'll be watching delta. If it does come up here, we'll be watching delta to see what cumulative delta is doing. Like I said before, what we like to see is as price moves up into this area, I would like to see delta beginning to move down. And then we would look for some bearish structure. I mean, this is good bearish structure right here. We're making, lower highs, moving lower lows. You'd be looking for something like that, an impulse down. And then I use a 500 volume to really fine tune those entries by, finding some bearish candles, very nice bearish candles here. And then you break lower, nice bearish candle here, break lower, bearish candle here, break lower, all that. So the market just opened. So I've been chit-chatting a long time, but I think I got through everything. I wanted to get through. And now we just got to see what's going to happen. Trading one contract today. Just one contract. I'll add to it if I see a good position. So morning burn-in, Cesarak, thanks for joining. Hey Terry, hey Carlo. ED Legend, Donatis from Lithuania, I believe. Andre, what's up? Lennon, hey Hashem, SW Blaze, DJ, what's up, man? Justin, Zero, Eli, or Ellie. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining in. I really appreciate it. I pinned up here in the chat a link to yesterday's. Hey, Daniel. Desi Man, good morning. I pinned up there the video I did yesterday. If anybody's interested in checking out kind of overall technical analysis and some key levels that I see to the downside. We're getting that impulse up here. I'm not surprised on that. I mean, see what it wants to do up here. I don't want to get chopped up on the open. You can see Delta down there dropping though. Looks like it's going to come. Tempted to short it as it breaks VWAP and take it down here, but I can also see it coming down here, doing a bear trap and popping back up and then coming back down. Hey, thanks, Donatus. Appreciate it. If you like the video, I wouldn't mind a like. The likes. If I can't make money, I'm going to try to make likes. Helps get the video out in front of others who might be interested in it. We can see Delta here dropping right at VWAP. Again, I'm really tempted to short it at VWAP, but I don't want to get chopped up on it. I think there'd be an interesting short down here, perhaps. Really, the place to short it is up here, as we talked about it. You know, let price try to come up here, and you can get it at a pretty good price. I mean, that's what it's been doing. Hey, Paris. Thanks, TJ. I appreciate that. I mean, that's what it's been doing all week. You know, making the. I mean, you can see it over here, making an impulse up to resistance. This was on the open, making an impulse up to resistance and crashing down. Impulse up to resistance, crash down. Impulse up, crash down. So I think it is going to try to make a move up. 77 might be an interesting short. Lots of charts going on up here, guys. Don't get too flustered. Don't get too. It's not too busy. You know, I'm looking at the 1 minute, 5 minute, 500 volume. These are my larger time frames where I'm just marking out those key levels, and these are the ones I'm using for price action. Tempted to fade this thing up at this level. May have room up to 18. I don't know. Quick scalp. I'm looking at this 8. I'm looking at this level down here. Hmm. See, point of control came in there. Those are probably sellers. Oh, a lot of buying coming there. Scalp in the open. Scalp in the open. No, I'm taking this stuff off. All right, I'm gonna let it chop around. Ugh, I don't want to get too choppy on it. Desi Man. Wish you would call another target 2 for 2. Oh, that'd be awesome if you could call one. How do you usually call them? Like, what's your strategy? Can you call it from where you're at? Higher. That looks bullish. I can see how Delta's coming along with that. What's up, Zach? What's up? Fib levels. Ooh. I don't use Fibonacci on trade on indices. I just don't think they're. I used to use Fibonacci when I traded Forex, but I don't use them on indices. And I don't know how successful they were, to be honest. Sometimes, I mean, if you put 6 lines up on your chart, all the fib or however many fib levels there are, like 4 or 5, it seems coming down now. A lot of chop. We can see how this LVN's holding price. I still think if it came up to 13,800, that would be an excellent area to get a good price on a short on it. An Elliott wave. I don't use Elliott wave. I've never used Elliott wave. I know what Elliott wave is, Elliott wave theory is, but I've never used it. But to each their own. If it works for you, man, use it. If you're nailing levels, this thing's gonna drop to 85. I might miss it though. It's a little too low. It's a little too choppy for me. I think we are gonna get this move down here. Maybe move down even lower. But when I see impulses like this, it scares me. When I see, price bearish and then popping up and then bearish, and this is the chop. You go chop, 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 chop. Do I trade Forex? I used to. I don't anymore. It's too much stuff. I used to try to trade both, but it's just too much stuff going on. And then I'm worried about like the FX trade and watching this and looking at that and then looking at this, looking at that, and trying to get it all is just too much. Coming down that trend line. 1 hour. Again, pre-market was to short the break of this down to bottom band there. So I'm going to look at the support level right here, 48. My problem is that it does look like it's going to, make a move to the downside here. But it's, the open is just so choppy. So, I mean, we could jump in on one with the anticipation that we would move down and maybe have to withdraw some drawdown, or we try to find an entry. And what we can see here is we had a support level right here at 13,653. You can see if it breaks through that. So that's that red line. We break through that, and then we come up and retest it. And if we had an LVN or something right there, that might be a good entry. Through that pretty quick there with a lot of selling volume. You can also use the back end of this trend line up at 61. I'm going to start a position here. We're going to try to take this thing down a little bit. I like my 30 levels. I don't know why, but I think you could maybe add to this. You can see how price is trying to move up, but Delta's moving down. suspect it's going to want to come down one more time. Delta's up there. I need to get out there. I see that. You know, it should have been quicker. Should have been quicker. See Delta moving higher there, so whatever. Long ES here. Ooh. Muy interesante. Look at the ES. Yeah, ES might be finding some support down here. 2000 tick. 2000 tick. I don't know. Bottom of the band. I don't trade the ES enough. I'm not familiar enough with it, but it does look like it's going to want to come down some because I don't think this volume profile is complete. See, we don't have a value area low down here. I think it is going to want to fall and stretch this out a little bit more. We can see the band here opening up. Typically, I don't think you're going to get a double bounce on this right there at that support level. I think it's going to come down probably to 43.26 down there, but I don't know. I don't really trade. I mean, I took a loss on the ES yesterday, so who what do I know? I forgot to mention, I did take an overall short position on the Nasdaq here. I bought this is weird to me. Actually, I'm not going to take that. Maybe I should have, but I bought some SQQQ to hold longish term. I mean, I feel like if you watched my video yesterday, I've got a pretty bearish sentiment on this thing at this point. Man, I really want to short this down to the support level down here, but God, I want to get. I'm trading my P&L. That's my problem. That's what's happening. I don't want to go red, but this thing looks like it's going to drop down to God knows what. Hey, and don't hate me on this. I'm going to make a confession. No, don't tell anybody about this, but I bought Netflix. Don't tell anybody. I bought Netflix. I'm the idiot who bought it. So let's see. I mean, at that price, I feel like Netflix. I mean, I'm going to hold it long term, but I feel like in the next year, the guys that run Netflix are going to be able to figure out how to get that stock back up to over 300. Right? So, I mean, I didn't buy a ton of it. I didn't put my 401k into it, but I saw an opportunity as it's tanking. Get it at a good price. And the thing was trading at like 700 not that long ago. Jesus. I mean, probably was overvalued at that point. I'll give you that. But yeah. So anyways, bought SQQQ, which is a short ETF. I should do a video on how you can short indices. See, now we're coming right down to that support area. It may find support down here. How you can short indices and longer term, catch bigger moves without having to do the whole buying futures contracts, which will burn you on margin. Anybody else take any trades? Carlo, looks like your trade's popping up. I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see it. I don't have the ES. Where's the ES? Actually, I don't know. Yeah. Oh. It's down through that level. We're coming into this LVN here. This actually looks like kind of an interesting short. But I'm not going to push my luck too much on a Friday. I really don't want to have like a $1,500 red day. I fucking suck on a Friday. Interesting possible short there at 39 to take it down again, but I'm not going to take it. I don't see this breaking this high and coming to VWAP. I see this probably continuing to fall. Again, I'm just trading my P&L. I'm only trading one contract, so I usually trade two contracts. So at 350, it's $700 for me. That's usually kind of my sweet spot. I don't want to push it too much. I don't want to take like a $200 loss or a $300 loss, and then start trading your P&L on a Friday afternoon. Again, there's nothing worse than having a massive red day on a Friday and having to sit through that all weekend. But we're going to watch this thing a little bit longer. Maybe some other guys are getting some good trades out of it. Pinning off that pretty sharp. Nice, Daniel. Really trade the Dow that much. I have traded it before, but I basically just look at the Nasdaq. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I really, really do. It's really cool to have pretty consistent. Everybody joining the chat room, like seeing how trades are going for everybody. When you guys aren't here, I miss some of you. Like I'm wondering where Verinder is. Verinder used to always be in the chat. His schedule's changed. Thanks, Zero. Love you too. Getting all warm and fuzzy in here now. I don't know. Thinking of shorting this at 37 with the idea that's going to keep dropping. Looking at that 1 minute, what it wants to do over there. And I guess you got to risk something, right? We're not here to. 1 minute looks so bearish. I don't know. We're bouncing off a pretty good support down there. I feel like this LVN up here is going to. You know what? I'm having flashbacks to yesterday when I kept shorting it. And what happened? Was it yesterday or the day before? The day before. Where we saw the short trade, but was just getting chopped up on it. And it was the same deal. Same deal. Like a big move down, nice bearish candles. Took the short as a break lower, and what happened? Boom, broke higher. And I got out. And then what happened? Boom, came lower. So I shorted it again. And what did it do? Bounced up. So I got out. Came back down. I mean, that was a mess. That was an absolute mess that day. Hate those days. Let's just see. Popping up now. See this nice bearish candle? Big move. I mean, this is just classic trading. Big move down. Pull back. Bearish candle. You expect that continuation. You get this nice bullish candle in 1 minute. Delta moving higher. You'd probably be pretty nervous right now. Shorten it. So just drop to the C floor here in a second. Boom. See? Boom. Pop up. Through that LVN. That looks bullish. Good job, Carlo. Oh, what's the CES doing? Nice job, Carlo. I hope you got a winner on that one. Hope you held on. Went into this LVN here, but this is it. Yes. The 2000 tick chart. Yes, we're just see how this is a 500 volume chart. We could compare this to a 500 tick chart on the ES or on the NQ. I mean. Looks like it wants to fall in. Oh my gosh, I'm having exact flashbacks to Wednesday, my $4,000 loss day. Moving lower, taking the short. Boom, it pops higher. Moving lower, taking the short. Boom, it pops higher. So I'm just going to sit on my hands and not do anything with it. Nice up channel here. One thing I will say is that when we see the structure like this form, or this, we get this nice structure. It'll be interesting to see what it does here. If I've got the bearish bias, this is just confirming this up channel. And when this up channel breaks, it's just confirming, this is how I got the big trade on Wednesday to make back that $4,000 loss, is that we had this up channel. I kept shorting the bottom of the channel, thinking that we were going to break. And I need to be more patient and wait for the actual channel to break. And so that's probably what I'm going to do here. Off the ES, so I can just see where this thing's going. We're going up to value area high now on the session volume profile. 20 SMA, value area high. I feel like that's actually a pretty good trade. We have this low volume node right here. And I think that if we break this trend line, we fall back into this high volume node, and there might be, a trade right in here. Let's see. I can also draw a trend line on a 1 minute. Wait. This is all just basic technical analysis. I don't really need to have the Bollinger Bands on there. I could just throw a 20 SMA on there. I like the 20 SMA. I don't know why. I feel like price reacts to it. I once read an article. I was trying when I first started trading. I'm like, what moving average am I supposed to use? Exponential, a simple moving average? Like, what am I supposed to do here? And what number? And the best answer I ever got was do which one that price is reacting to. And for me, the 20 SMA and Bollinger's, to some extent Bollinger's, price reacts, well to. Watching the 1 minute over here and the 500 volume. See what it wants to do with this. So we can see how price reacted to that trend line. It's telling me that's a valid trend line, right? Also, big area of confluence there where we had the 20 SMA come in. Take off this level. I'm just going to move that down and mark out the 20 SMA. Again, I kind of like the trade where we're coming up to value area high. We hit some resistance, 20 SMA. And we move through this low volume node, break this trend line, and then we drift back down to maybe 52-ish level. So I'm interested in that. Nice, Carlo. Guys, can we get 40 likes? I like, me. I like my even numbers. I'm kind of OCD like that. I like my even numbers. 40 likes would be much, much appreciated. Just need 11 more. If you haven't liked it, it's completely free. Please don't dislike it just to be mean. I saw some people disliking, I think just to be funny. It's like, can you like it? And they're like, dislike it. Show you. Again, I'm interested in this trade. I feel like it's gonna want to fall down here through this level. I also don't want to get, in a bad situation here. But we're going to see if this support breaks, and it should move pretty quickly down to that 50-ish level. Bullish candle there. I'm really looking to see what it's doing over here on the 1 minute. If we pin through that 20 SMA, it's a bullish sign. You'll see what this 500 volume candle is going to give me. It's got 4 seconds here. 3, 2, I'm off. See how it pinned through the 20 SMA? I don't like that. Bummer. Oh, just clapped in the microphone. Sorry. I think I need some stream beats. I think I'm gonna look into that this weekend. How you put beats on this thing? What do people use? Like stream? Is it called stream beats? Is that what it is? So. Yeah, see, we're still holding above that 20 SMA on the 1 minute. So, again, though, I kind of like that 64, just this quick scalp, 64 down to 54. You know, nothing big, nothing big. Feel like it's got some juice in it. But see what Delta wants to do here. We're pushing off that 20 SMA. I see Delta starting to make lower highs through this trend line there. Now we've closed below the 20 SMA in the 1 minute. Look at all that selling. Look at all that selling. One thing with using hotkeys, which really pisses me off, is your entry. That I would have taken that, but I use my hotkey to exit on that hesitation. So you get such a bad fill. That would have been a great little trade. Pop down there, but I got like $40 on it. Maybe, I don't know if I even got $40 on it. The lo-fi one. Oh, I wish I would have held that trade. Really? So if we just do like some simple trade, examination or whatever, review, very nice trend line here. Lots of touches on it. Lots of touches on it. Very valid. As we break it, you're looking for a retest, either of the trend line or something else. We have the 20 SMA up here. Getting in, maybe on this candle would have been a lot better. And then taking it down to that support level. That's 25 points-ish right there. And for me, as a scalper on the Nasdaq, that's just what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for, getting the big move. You can do that using other products or other assets. This thing is just so volatile that, you see here, like that would stop you out. And if you're trading 2 contracts, that could potentially blow your account. Just that little bounce right there. So there's some guys that can do this and hold these big moves. I ain't one of them. I'm not one of them. So I think looking like it's coming up. I think, $400 on the Friday. Should be able to buy me lunch tomorrow. Some news broke. That's on news, whatever that move is. That's too aggressive. Excuse me. gonna let it mess around up here. I don't know what's going on. Trend lines are only valid for a little bit. Change them around. Wondering. Look at that. Up channel. 1 minute. You know, the only way that I would trade this is you want to buy it down here at the bottom of this channel, and I don't really want to buy it. And if it breaks this trend line, if it breaks the support, there ain't a lot of room to the downside for me because we've worked right down here at value very low. So there really isn't a trade for me except to short it at the top of the channel. I'm conflicted because I feel like the larger time frames are telling me this is all very bearish. But the smaller time frames right now are showing me some bullish action where we're in this up channel at the moment, and I don't particularly want to buy it. So I'm not trading right now. I'm not going to trade it. You know, even if we broke this support, which is the way that you trade this thing, you would, you know, as this level right here broke, you would short it down into here. You know, this is a big low volume area for me, not for me, it is. It's a big low volume area. When price came down into here, we didn't see a lot of interest, and that's why you got this impulse back up. That being said, I'm watching price moving down here, and I'm seeing cumulative delta moving lower and lower and lower. Cumulative delta, though, is just one tool out of many of these tools that we use, and so we need price action, support and resistance levels, technical analysis, all these things to come together to provide us with a high probability trade. And I'm just not getting it right here with this up channel that we're currently in. And the volume profile. I mean, it may want to, you know, drop, boom, boom, boom. We make new lows. Now, if we made new lows, this thing breaks this channel, we come down here and make new lows, I'd be looking for a retest, you know. Then I would be looking for, you know, that I shouldn't say a retest, bearish structure to form where we get, you know, the big drop down, then it comes back up, we get this trend line, that breaks, and then we take another leg down. That was the trade we took on Wednesday, that like $4,500 trade we took on Wednesday. It was very similar to that. So you can see here it's reacting now to this trend line again. But what happened last time when we broke a trend line? We got, you know, new highs. So you want to be careful. There's not always going to be an opportunity. Oh, guys, I can get 3 more likes. 3 more likes. 3 more, guys. 3 more. Stream beats. I gotta get stream beats. Get some little background music playing. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna trade this, guys. To be honest with you, I can feel my brain getting a little tired of not tired, but I'm grasping, and I don't. When I feel like that, it's not gonna end well. I know there is a guy that's got a panda one. You got this bear. That's what I was thinking about, just taking the bear off and just doing face on natural. Said that right. Because at this point, I mean, I really care. I mean, when you first start doing it, it's nice to have that anonymity. It's nice to have that kind of buffer where you can just say stupid shit, or you can, you know, mess up and lose thousands of dollars in the beginning because, you know, you're nervous or whatever. And, you know, but now at this point, I feel like we've been doing this for almost a year. It's, I feel like we got a pretty decent track record. And that's what is with trading. I mean, you can go back and look at my trades and say, well, look at this day you lost $4,000, or this day you lost 3,000, or here you lost 1,500. Yeah, but then there's other days where I made 6,000, or I made 7,000, or I made 800, or today I made 400 on one contract. That's just, I think, how all traders go. Not every day is going to be fireworks and um, $20,000 days. It's not reality with it, and it's all relative. I mean, you can just put zeros onto the end of whatever your position size is, and it's still the same damn trade. So the P&L doesn't matter so much as the actual trading and the technical analysis and the chart stuff. I mean, you're trading micros right now. You're at $40. I told you. I tell this story all the time. First time I traded, made $40, and I was like, incredible, incredible. I made $40 in like less than 2 minutes, and I was hooked. It's on an Aussie dollar USD fade off of news. And I was nervous as shit. I was like, oh my, I got into it. I traded one lot. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I'm down $60. Oh my God. What's going to happen? I'm going to, fear drives you. So I think I would have made I still remember I would have made like $500 on the trade if I would have just faded it all the way back down to its normal range. But I got out like 40. I got out at like a super small pip. I can't remember really how Forex works with the pips. Thanks, Desi, man. I appreciate you tuning in. You figure out. Oh, you don't have your Fibonacci's and your other thing. I could throw some Fibonacci's up here. You want me to throw something up? How do you usually do your Fibonacci's? You do like intraday session? I haven't used Fibonacci's in years, literally years. We could throw one up here just for shits and giggles, see what happens. Maybe on a 5 minute. You just do like a session one. Take off some of this. This is actually a short up here, and I'm just fucking around because I don't really want to take a loss. And I can tell that I'm done trading. I can tell that I'm hit my limit. And I don't think Fibonacci is going to be under studies. It's probably going to be under drawing tools. Fibonacci retracements. So where did the market open? The market opened over here. We can just take a high on the market and come down to the low, perhaps. Am I doing that right, Desi Man? I don't want to do something incorrect. Let's see if price reacted to anything here. I don't know. Voodoo lines. Fibonacci's worked for me, Forex, but I also had like 4 moving averages up on my screen. I mean, I used like the 20 EMA, 50 EMA, 100 EMA, 200 EMA, I think is what I used. Something like that. And so what I would do is I would look for when all those moving averages came together. Like here I would have like all these come like down into a point, like a big area of confluence, plus a Fibonacci level, and then that for me would be like a really significant level that I would be buying or selling at, waiting for price to bounce. It works sometimes. Like all things, it works sometimes. But it wasn't so as I'm messing there with the Fibonacci, we can see how price came up here to the upper band on the 5 minute, plus this blue box we drew out, and look at Delta. Delta's really selling away from it. I mean, I'm super tempted to jump in on this thing on a short. I need this trend line here to break though. I need us to get out of that up channel before I would think about changing my direction on it. Or not my direction, thinking about taking a short on it. Also Friday, guys. It's like 9:10 on Friday. All the bougie traders are gonna be thinking about weekend here in a second. Bougie like bourgeois, not boozy. Still here, just watching it. Just watching it. Yeah, I think the 61.8 is the most. There's one that's like the most significant, and I think it's 61.8. Yeah, they're gonna head to the Hamptons. Oh, it's almost summer. That's right. Holy smokes! One of the reasons I started trading the Nasdaq was in the summer the ES is like just like water dripping. It's so slow, and so I started trading the Nasdaq, and yeah, that was way better, way better. Might take one last trade here, guys. The short 74 down to 62. Now breaking through this trend line. I want to see what it wants to do down here. I would love to get a close outside of this trend line on the 1 minute. It's 8 seconds. I think if it does pop down, takes my order, it'll close below it. It's through it. It's through it. Got this LVN. I feel like this low volume node and 75 level breaks. I think the bottom of the band here, 56. Target on. I'm just thinking to myself, why would I not just jump into it earlier? You know? Why am I waiting for this thing to come down, tag my price, and the move's already done? I gotta get better at trading. I gotta get better at trading. $70. Yeah, dude, I'll tell you about my Apex account. I got another Apex account. I signed up for one of those 50K ones on that big sale they had. So I got the 50K one, and I was just fucking around on like Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember which day. I was like, I'm just gonna hit this thing hard and see what happens. And I made like 33,000. I made 3,150 bucks or something like that in one day. So I'm just trading the Apex over on. I just take like one little micro trade, so I'll get the account after the end of 10 days. But I was trading it yesterday, and I took my micro trade on it, and it was for a loss. It was only like it's like I'm just trading the micros again. I'm just trying to get the trading day on it, right? I'm just trying to get the trading day because I passed it in the first day I did it, and that's not to be braggy or anything. It's just explaining my situation. So I'm just trading the micros, and I've got like a 10 tick stop loss on it. And even if it hits my stop loss every day, I'll still get the account at the end of the 10 days. Now we're breaking lower here on the Nasdaq. And so I was in the trade and it stopped me out. And then it moved my way like 10 points. And then I was entered into another trade, which I did not have. I did not have it. Uh, and I had no ATM strategy on it. It was just like a short. I think it was like a short. And I couldn't believe it. And I went down like 10 points before I was able to manually close out of it. And I was like, man, this is really fishy. This is really fishy. So today, after the live stream, I'm going to take another trade on the Apex. And I've never had that happen where it's like, sometimes what'll happen is like you have an ATM strategy and you try to manually close out. Like I would do like I've got, if I use my hotkeys, I can do Control Z and it'll close out, it'll flatten all my positions. But if there's like that microsecond in between when your ATM strategy hits and the other order goes through, one of the orders could still get triggered. Well, that didn't happen in this because I didn't touch anything. I was literally just thrown into a trade. As I remember it, I was just thrown into a trade. Um, and my cynical side was like, man, they're trying to take my fucking account. That was my, I guess like somebody's messing with me over there. That was my cynical side. Now, something may have happened. I have no proof of that, but it was really weird how I got into that massive losing trade for like 10 points after trying to take my micro little trade and my stop loss hit. So I'm going to record my trade today after I get off the live stream. I'm just going to take some little dinky trade and try to make $5 or something just to get today as a trading day. And I will record it. And if there's any funny business, going to be alerting my massive YouTube community about it. So yeah, you just need one trade a day. You got to trade for Hashem, they've got weird rules. You've got to try, I think for 25 days, you need 25 trading days on it. So I mean, look, to be honest, all these guys are hoping you are counting on that you fail it and that you're not able to pull out significant amount of money. The majority of people who do these things blow up their accounts, and within a couple months, 2-3 months, they quit trading altogether because it's just too frustrating. I mean, my first couple years trading were super frustrating. I just stuck with it forever. You just get a little bit better and better and better at it. I should take a short here, but I think I'm done trading at 573. Yeah, they're hoping that that's exactly right, Hashem. You've got to figure out a way to, one, not blow up your account, and two, get all those trading days without blowing up your account. And I mean, the way to do it is to wait for really good opportunities, take some risk, make a really nice trade, add to it, do what you need to do, find those bigger moves. This is a very nice trade here at the break of this channel, right? I just didn't really take it, unfortunately, because I'm trading my flipping P&L, but this is a very nice trade. And what I may do is actually watch this thing later this afternoon and see if we break session lows, and again come back up. If we break session lows, we break weekly lows, I'd be waiting for it to move down and then come back and retest. But it may find some support down. We're right at the bottom of the band here on the 1 hour. So anyways, my strategy with these things is, you get one really good trade and you just wait for those really good setups. And you don't need to take, I do a lot of trading on this live stream because, well, I feel like that's what the live stream's about, and we kind of want to show people how to trade. But just find those A+++ trade setups, hit it for a lot, and then take little tiny trades each day. And really hold on to that balance. The problem with that is that we're all human, right? And we get greedy and we want to make more money and we want that account to be massive. And so what happens is maybe we made a few $1,000 and then next day we're like, I'm gonna make another few $1,000, and you jump into your trade. It's a loser, but you don't want to lose because you're trading your P&L and you want to hold on to that account. And you add to the loser and then before you know it, you get that horrible pop-up thing on your screen saying that you've exceeded your threshold or whatever that message is, and you can't enter your trades anymore. And that's, not fun. Man, I should have held on to this thing. Look at this drop. We read this thing out, too. This is the exact same setup we had on Wednesday. Looking bearish. Looks like we've opened up 13,500. Well, my SQQQ trade is working out, so my Nasdaq short trade. You think Apex has tougher rules? Oh, it has tougher rules once you get funded, but Top Step has way harder rules during the evaluation. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't read your whole thing there, PD Legend. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But my thing is, like, these evaluations should be educational. They should teach you how to trade, and if you're able to pull out, $2,000 or $3,000 out of the account, you should be putting that into your own account. and really just doing good risk management on it. One thing I think the evaluations do is it gets you acclimated to trading larger size and dealing with larger losses. So for me, I remember the first time I had like a $200 or $300 loss in a trade, I felt horrible. I felt like I, just blew my kids' college savings accounts or something. And when you start trading, more contracts, you get more acclimated, more used to that size, and taking those $200-300 losses aren't that big of a deal because you're coming back and you're making a few hundred, all that stuff. So I think this gets you, preps you for the game, the real game, when you're trading your own capital, and you're able to then scale in 1, 2 contracts, 3 contracts, maybe 4 contracts. Something that you probably would not have done if you just put your own $5,000 into an account to begin with. So, yeah. I think Apex's trailing drawdown is the same as everybody else. I could be wrong on that, but it's the trailing drawdown. Everybody does it. I mean, that's what burns everybody, right? You make like 2 grand and you're like, okay, now I've got my drawdown at 5,000. You don't. Your drawdown is still, here comes that retest of support we're talking about. Your drawdown is still that 2,500. So are you sure they don't? What's their drawdown tonight? It's a static drawdown. I don't know, I haven't looked at Top Step recently. Look at this interesting thing we just did. How we drew that up channel before. So what I did was I just drew 2 lines here on the two highest points, copied that, and just moved it down. You can see now we're in this down channel. And this is one interesting way how you can use multiple time frames to find trading opportunities. It seems like it's finding some support down here at the bottom of this channel. How we drew this 1 minute up channel properly. Try it. I'm probably messing up all my charts. Son of a gun. Um, Bear with me here. We had this 1 minute up channel here we drew out, but we're in a larger down channel. So really, I mean, it's just how you can trade multiple time frames is look for these counter trends within a larger trend and then trade the break of those smaller trends. Let's see if I can fix my charts. I think that's interesting how we just drew this simple one up here, copy pasted it to the bottom. Ay, 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 ay. Like it is going to break lower though. 88, and it's just going to start falling. So Top Step trades end of day. That actually does ring a bell. That sounds familiar. That it's closing P&L. I can't remember though, but to me that doesn't make any sense. Like I could just hold on to a shit position and be down $25,000, or maybe I'm thinking of this wrong. As long as it's not end of the day, I'm allowed to lose that much money. But yeah, I think you do have like a intraday. You've got an intraday loss limit on top. I think it'll liquidate you if you lose more than something. Yeah, intraday. That's right, PD legend. So Taylor, no, it resets to the 50K. So you do not get to keep anything. None of the stuff you make in the evaluation sticks around. All right, guys. I don't know. Maybe jumping off this thing. It's 9:30. Been almost an hour. And my brain's pretty toast. I'm cool with 573. Will I trade more? Possibly. If I do, I'll record it. I think we're at the bottom of this channel here. Although we're coming to this low volume node. This might be a short, but I'm not gonna short the bottom of this at the bottom of the channel. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I hope your trading's going well. um, and yeah, I don't know. Really appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back on Monday. I'm gonna try to keep live streaming more regularly. Um, and so I appreciate you guys watching. And we'll do the whole technical analysis stuff. Try to mark out those key levels. I hope some people executed this better than I did. I think we're right. That price is going to keep falling. But again, as a scalper, those drawdowns can really get you. So this one over here is the only one that I'm really regretting not holding on to this as it came down lower. I felt like I saw that and I just, was trading my P&L and just didn't take it. So that's the way it goes. All right, you guys have a great weekend. I'll be back on Monday. I appreciate it. And yeah, I don't know. I've got that 50% Apex coupon thing. If everybody still wants to do that, I can try to pull it up. If anybody wants to jump in on this, I can share that again. Let me find it. I feel like 50% is pretty good. It's like, find this thing. I don't even know where it is. Here. Percent off Apex for anybody who's interested. Doing one of these trader evaluations, a good way it's a good educational way not to risk your own money, but still have some skin in the game. So it seems like we're breaking lower here. This thing's just going to drift down, I think, to 13,550. So bears look like they're taking control weekly. I mean, look at this. Look at the weekly. This candle closes like this today. It's game over. That thing where it attempted to come up and just failed. Anyways, kind of depressing for longer term investments. The Apex thing or any of the evaluation things, they're all kind of the same. TopStep does have harder rules. It's a little more expensive. It has harder rules. I don't really know what the advantage of doing TopStep is, except that it's probably a more reputable company. I feel like it has a better reputation, I guess. But I've never heard anything bad about Apex or Lilu or OneUp or any of the other ones. And Apex with the 50% off is probably the best deal out there for the price. And to be fair, these are really difficult. So it's hard when you sign up for one. You spend $200 or $300 on one, and then you blow it up in a couple days, and you get frustrated. So doing one for $75, $80 isn't that big of a deal, and you can always jump back into it. What I would say is set some rules for yourself. So the cool thing I do like about Apex, and I believe Lilu does it too, when you lose the evaluation, you still have data for the rest of the month for the rest of your subscription period. You can still sim trade, and I would definitely recommend that. I would give yourself like one reset in a month and only allow yourself to buy one evaluation per month and give yourself one reset per month. That's like $150 or $160 or something like that on a 50K evaluation for you to be able to use the 50% coupon plus give yourself a reset. So I would just give yourself one evaluation and one reset a month and don't allow yourself to reset anymore. Wait until the next month in order for you to sign up for another evaluation if you fail the first time plus the reset. You don't want to get in a situation where you're buying resets during the day, multiple resets during the day. Market conditions are not in favor for you. Trading's not right. Something's going on. You just don't want to be throwing a bunch of money at these evaluations. You just get frustrated. So the cool thing about Apex is it does give you data for the rest of the month. So you're able to trade on a sim account and practice your trading. And then what you would want to do is cancel your subscription for the following month because it's going to charge you full price, and then just sign up again for a new evaluation using the 50% coupon to get that discount again. So you got to consider it education, and you'd rather be just doing the $80 or $150 rather than giving thousands of dollars to the market and market tuition. So looks like we're going to break lower here on this thing, but we'll watch it. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for sticking around. Please give this thing a like, subscribe if you like. If you haven't already, appreciate you subscribing. It's completely free. It helps me out a lot, encourages me to keep doing these videos. Try to do some more like macro technical analysis stuff as well. Maybe we'll look at the ES. Maybe we will look at some other equities that I've got in mind that I'm thinking about buying as markets drift lower here. So there's some things that are at pretty good support levels right now, and I think some stuff's going to go on sale here pretty soon. So anyways, thanks a lot for tuning in. I'm going to stop chit-chatting. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you Monday. Thanks, guys.